Let's go.
It's Big Frank in the morning, Jay Cherie keeping it going. We got them hot topics, local news, and BGC flowing. We got Big Kev on the air, Dark Knight flying in here. It's Fire 716 and we rocking it here.
Yeah, he lied.
Okay.
Morning, folks.
Morning, was good. How y'all doing? Trying not to get cut off. Let's see how it sounds. Sound good. All right. I mean, I'm not mad at her for going back to school. I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she
You better be a professional student, man. I'm not
Listen.
mad at it.
Not mad at all.
Get them degrees. Go on and get them degrees. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, we just setting up. Morning, y'all. Y'all know what to do when you pull up, say hello. I know it's a weird morning. Like, it's not like dreary outside.
Yeah, it's definitely a different kind of morning.
It's not gloomy outside, but it's like heavy.
It's a drag. Yeah.
It's like really heavy.
For sure.
Yeah. You would think like, oh, we got sunshine, but it's just like really, really heavy.
No.
So. Oh, Frank said, don't play franchise.
Okay. I figured that yesterday.
Gotcha.
I think I played it I played it on the live.
Yeah, but like it's oddly heavy this morning.
Yeah.
Like okay.
Right.
What's going on in the land? I have to go and get my prayer closet, find out what's going on in the world. Yeah. It's crazy. So like And for the people that's on here, feel free to chime in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna ask this question, and I'm trying to use generalities, just in case a certain individual is watching.
Okay.
Would you feel comfortable? No, let me pose it this way. If you needed to, because you're a guy, so this is why I'm asking you this question. If you needed to seek out help, and the person that you're reaching out to is a woman of the opposite sex, is a person of the opposite sex, because you know that's their profession. Don't you feel the obligation to tell your significant other, like, I'm seeking out help, but the person is a female?
You might not like me, but I won't say it's a need, but I will say it'll come up in conversation. Yeah, for sure. Right. I won't even say a personal trainer because I don't want a female training me because it's not like it's different. But if like I have a female doctor, I would tell my wife, but I don't feel like it's an obligation. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like it's a necessity. It's needed for me to tell her, but like I'll tell her. You know what I'm saying? But it'd probably be weird for me. Like, hey, babe, I had a female doctor today.
No, okay.
But like,
so,
you know what I'm saying? So, like,
because as a person who's not a full-time clinician yet, I have certain stipulations. Welcome to the table. You can contribute to this conversation before we jump on. And this is like my stipulations across the board. It's not specific to this particular person, but it's my stipulations across the board.
Got you.
First of all, I can't be a therapist because I'm not licensed, so I will give you wisdom.
Right.
But I am certified as a first aid mental health responder. So if you are like in crisis, I can help you without getting sued.
Gotcha.
But I had somebody reach out to me. Actually, I've had multiple people reach out to me. And like this is like the third person that I've had this situation with. So I'm like, what the heck? It's like, I need help with my mental health. Cool. Are you dating somebody or are you engaged or married? One person is married, one person is engaged, one person is dating. I said, I don't have an issue with helping you in a crisis. But if you need mental health advice, I need you to let your significant other know who is helping you. So in the situation of you being in a crisis, if you say, call this person, there's no, well, who is this? Who is this female?
Gotcha.
Blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely.
In the last month, I've had to deal with this 3 different times. And all 3 dudes is like, I don't feel the need to tell my significant other. And I'm like, first of all, 1, you're married. 2, you're engaged. And other one, you're still dating somebody that you want to marry. So to cover me, because first of all, I am a minister of this gospel.
Right.
Second of all, I am a woman. And I'm a Black woman at that, and I'm cute. I need you to like let these people know exactly like the exact placement that I am in your life to prevent any drama on your end, any drama on my end, somebody trying to find me on Facebook or my house, cussing me out. Why you talking to my man? Why you talking to my husband? Why you talking to my fiance? And all 3 dudes are for refusing to do it. And it was just like, you know, this is my issue.
So now if you have an issue with, I won't even say an issue, but if you feel the need for your clients to tell their significant others and they refuse, then that's something that's a requirement for you.
Yeah. For
them to receive your services. So you have the right to deny them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, like, 2 of them were like pissed off at me, like, but you're supposed to be this, and you're not only a minister, but you work in this. First of all, I'm not certified.
Right. So if I did give you advice, I could possibly not get my license for helping you.
Yeah, I mean, if I put it under the guise of wisdom, of giving you wisdom, and responding to you if you're in a mental health emergency. So if you're like, I'm gonna kill myself, I am covered by law and my certification.
Right.
But like like two of the dudes are pissed off because they're just like, this is my issue, and I feel like I don't have to share this with my significant other. Like the one dude was like, I don't have to share this with my wife. You are married, sir. Like if you were having mental health issues, like she should be the first person to know. Like I'm pretty sure she won't be mad that you're trying to get help. Right. But I'm like, I'm not dealing with nobody's wife, like nobody's husband. And then the other one, like, that's engaged. I'm just like, bruh.
Right.
You're walking into your marriage not telling your wife that you're struggling with mental health. Like,
facts.
I'm covering myself. And when I tell you, like, two of them are pissed, but all three are mad. Like, they like, this is what you're called to do, da-da-da. But first of all, I'm not, this is services. This is pretty much just me like, hey, so we just put the camera all in my face.
Yep, you worried about the wrong thing right now. Talking.
We're putting this this situation is complicated on my end because I'm like, I'm just trying to give I'm here for wisdom. I'm not certified. It'd be different if I was certified. I would be covered by the state,
right? Because
of confidentiality,
right?
Like I'm seeing a therapist. Yeah, all of it. Right. Like I was like, because I'm not. This is my stipulation. Like, and the crazy thing is, I've had females reach out, and I've had the same stipulation. Like, please say who he is. You know what I'm saying? Because this world, everybody's trisexuals. Let them know who I am. And the girl's like, oh, okay, cool. I've said it. I'm like, no, why is it the guys are giving me so much resistance?
Because they 9 times out of 10 know their significant other. And the minute they bring up a female, there's an instant wall. So it's like, I don't want to meet this resistance. So I'm just going to continue to get the help I need. But at the same time, hide this from my wife. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a win-lose situation. But, I mean, you gotta get what you gotta get.
I think it would just be the fact that he looking for help and he don't want to look weak.
Yeah. Pride. Legit.
You know what I'm saying? I've been thinking this for the last couple of days. I was like, the issue with having power is that you have ego. And though ego, some people see ego as a positive, strengthening thing. Ego makes you extremely weak because ego is gets more and more fickle as you gain power.
For sure.
So,
what are we
coming in?
Oh, okay. What the heck? What are we coming in? But yeah, so like, I get, like the whole ego thing, but I'm like, that's my only stipulation.
Yeah.
Like, just tell them, like, you don't have to talk about what you talk about. Just be like, hey, this person is just helping me through mental health challenges. They have a degree for it. Like, they have human services certifications. This is just like, it's somebody I know, somebody I'm cool with. I'm letting you know so there's no mystery. It's not like, who is this person? Like, trying to cover myself.
My thing is, I feel like they should just go see a therapist. They don't have to talk about it to nobody. I ain't even got to tell her I'm going. It ain't none of their business that I'm going to go see a therapist. Technically, by the state.
Well, no, because I was just like, I have people I can refer you to.
Because no offense, that's what you're doing, and you can definitely help them in it. You still a random female. And as far as somebody trying to tell them something,
Fire 716, it's your girl Jay Cherie in Big Frank in the morning. I'm in the room with my boy, The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Kev on air.
You know what it is.
We holding it down for Frank. Frank is out.
Big Franken.
That's what we doing. But as his peoples, we here to hold him down, hold down the fort. How y'all doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I mean, I can smell and taste the air. It's a good day to be here.
It's contaminated, but it's contaminated air. What about you, Dark Knight?
I'm good. It's gonna be hot today, so I'm happy.
So I'm doing drive-bys today. Disclaimer: yes, if I see you in the hood, you are getting wet today. If it's really that hot, What's his
Something like 84 degrees.
Oh,
Awesome.
oh, everybody's getting.
So I'll be staying in my house. But no, I'm good. I was telling Kev on air this morning. It's not. Hey, doctor, how you doing? I was telling Kev this morning that it's not gloomy, but it feels heavy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I may have to tap into the prayer closet today, see what's going on in the atmosphere,
Yeah.
and see if we need to prepare for anything. But no, like real talk, you know, and just working through this situation with, you know, I understand the importance of mental health, but I'm okay with helping people in emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you just, because all therapists are not 24 hours, and like, so I'm like crisis services, and like, I recently, Morning Queen, I had to like deal with a situation where somebody, I told them call crisis services, and it was like, I can't, and I said, why? And they said, because I know at least 6 people that work there, and I don't want them to get my call and judge me because the person was in leadership.
Oh man.
And I was like, that's
bad though, because as leaders, why do you have to feel embarrassed about getting help? Like,
I get it.
Like, I know, I get it.
Yeah, like,
I get it, but at the end of the day, we're human.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if we can't look past the human factor, if we can't look past a title,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and look at the human factor, there's something wrong.
Yeah, because it was like
I need to know my pastor's getting help.
Listen,
Yeah.
like real talk, and I was just like, it broke my heart because like the person was really, you know, really going through it. And don't get me wrong, they called me because they know. So it was just like, okay, let me try to help you through this.
Gotcha.
And you know, thank God I was able to be available. But it was just like, my first instinct was, you need to call crisis services. Like, I know 6 people that work there, and a couple of them I go to church with. And I was like, I get it. Like, I get it. This is the person that's supposed to be like, you know, like praying for me, covering me, and it's like crisis services.
And they praying and covering other people, but they need prayer.
And that's crazy that, you know, unfortunately in this world, if a situation happens where you call crisis services and somebody that you're leading, that they're going to judge your ability to lead. And that's a whole nother topic.
We're gonna talk about that tomorrow.
In itself, we gonna delve into that tomorrow. So, you know, tomorrow, tag your leaders, because we're gonna have real conversation. But coming up next, we got Big Girl Chronicles, because we got to talk about some social norms that I need to just break. Right, just early in the morning. So stay locked in with us, Big Frank in the morning. We're gonna get you this good music and then some Big Girl Chronicles. Let's go, let's get it. Okay, one of us has to remember that we're talking about that tomorrow. Yes. Oh, my bad.
I forgot to.
Just write a piece of paper.
Like, because I'll be like, what we talking about? I don't even know. Sharita said, church folks are messy, will spread your business. It's sad that leaders cannot go everywhere to get the necessary help we need without fear of being put on blast. Like, it's real talk.
I think what the real stimulation of it all is because I don't think his issue was necessarily because he think he's going to get judged for calling to help, but the fact that they're going to be like, well, why don't you pray? Why don't you?
But even
you know what I mean?
Because
that's what I think.
I'm still in this place.
You know, right. But that's what I think. That's what I think it is because, you know, people in your congregation think that, you know, you and Jesus, you and God so close that, you know, you be like, yo, God, he'd be like, yeah, what's good? You know what I'm saying?
But I know people who have conversations, who have that connection with God like that and still need help. And so, like, I think, you know, part of it could have been that, but, like, just even in the conversation, it was just really like, yo, like, what if one of them answer and it's like, oh, we recognize you. Yo.
But technically, I'm pretty sure crisis service that everything is confidentiality. One is under HIPAA, and then two, if you just like if anything under HIPAA, if you have a connection to this person, you cannot talk to them. So you have to pass them to somebody.
Legit. Oh, that's a fact. But then you know,
and then you can't talk about.
You know our folks.
Right. Let's be honest.
I'm just saying.
Our folks gonna stay on the phone. Our folks gonna stay on the phone and chat it up.
But this is my thing though. If it's somebody who you know and they pick up the phone, they technically ain't supposed to be talking to you. But they care about you and they love you and they
genuinely
should.
Yeah.
They gonna sit and talk to you anyway.
Right.
They're trying to help you do it because it's out of the love of it all. It ain't got nothing to do with you my type, you my pastor, what's wrong? What's wrong? Like, let's talk.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't feel comfortable with doing that, which you probably don't, pass them on to somebody because that's your job.
But that's the thing, like the nervousness was like they could pass me to somebody else, but then I get another person that I already know. Because
it's gonna be hot potato.
Right. So Trix, so the conversation we're probably gonna get into more depth into it tomorrow, but like the conversation is really dealing with getting help as a leader and being, feeling judged about getting help as a leader if they call a certain entity somebody recognizes their voice that they go to church with, because this is a situation that has happened that I've heard, not even just in like Buffalo. Like I've had a couple of different people have the same concern. Right. And even though like we say like, it's HIPAA, once they leave work, they don't care nothing about HIPAA. They find slick ways of dropping certain information.
Girl, you know what I heard?
You know what I'm saying? Oh, because I was dealing with a certain person today that we just happen to all know. You know what I'm saying? They will find their way around without dropping the name. Facts.
Because that's really all it is. The name.
So yeah, so we were just briefly talking about that. Sharita said, asking someone, why don't you praise a form of judgment? It's also an assault on their faith. You'd be surprised. People break confidence. I had a situation with someone at Crisis Service who broke confidence of a member at my home church.
See? That's crazy.
But that's all I'm saying. Like, to the first thing, I totally agree. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that could have been just a thought of his because, just how people are. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They not thinking of it as, being judgmental. They thinking of it as, I look to you to have it.
Right.
And if you calling me, it made me feel like you don't.
But it's an unrealistic expectation to feel like whoever is in leadership is going to be on it all the time. And I'm not talking about like lack of spirituality.
Right.
Being in leadership and like, my sister's on, so she can attest to this. Even in different levels, even for me, getting ready to transition from one level to another. Mm-hmm. And full transparency, your mental health can be under attack. Whether you in a prayer closet 23 out of 24 hours in a day. Yes, they say, if you keep your mind stayed on him, he'll keep you in perfect peace. That's absolutely true. Mm-hmm. But mental health is not always like it's a demonic thing. Sometimes it's a chemical imbalance. It can be knocked off of the food you eat, lack of sleep, things of this nature, and it can cause mental health issues. And like people have this preconceived notion that once you're in leadership, your mental health is fine. No, it's actually challenged more. Yeah. And it's not a state. Well, since we hear, I guess it's not happening tomorrow. We need to. There needs to be a safe space where people that are in leadership that may be struggling with their mental health a little bit or a lot have a place to go. And unfortunately, because Buffalo is very small, and services like Buffalo Psych Center or ECMC CPEP or even Crisis Services, believers work there. Yeah. Like, legit. It's I can be exposed. Like something I've been struggling with quietly now can be exposed. Mm-hmm. So that it's hard to find a safe space. Like I'm not gonna lie, I believe every therapist needs a therapist. It was challenging finding a therapist. I love my therapist. My therapist knew who I was before I knew who she was. Because in the church world, church people know church people. Right. But she also knew my pastor. She also is my current pastor. She knows people I'm connected to. Mm-hmm. But it was still the ability to service what I needed without knowing. She was like, "Oh no, I knew you hashtag blue hair preacher before we even I heard it before," and so I was just like, "Is that gonna be cool with you? Is you gonna expect me to be hyped about in these appointments? Because it's not." But because she saw me for the person who was seeking out help, not for the hashtag blue hair preacher or a member of this set church. You know what I'm saying? It was able to work. Everybody doesn't get that. Yeah. And that's why it's challenging sometimes for leaders to find proper help.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Because like,
Sure, I know when I was younger, I used to think, when I was like, until I was like 16, 17, sure, I used to think Bishop could do no wrong. I was like, no way. You know what I'm saying? Anytime if anybody say anything negative about Bishop, it's a lie, bro. You don't even know Bishop like that. Like, you chill. Like, you know Jesus for real. Like, stop playing.
When they go out to dinner, I'm trying to stop.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
like when the Lord is bored, he goes to his house.
Right.
When there's nothing to do on earth, that's where he go.
You know what I'm saying? I used to feel that way, you know what I mean? But like, you know, I had to grow as you grow up. And I think that is really where the disconnect happened with young people a lot of the time, is that they find out that the people they follow aren't perfect.
Yes.
But they've been hailing them as this perfect person this whole time. And from there, you either got two choices. You either leave because you wanted that perfection, or you stay because thank God you're not perfect. Because it was hard to talk to you when I thought that you didn't experience any of these things.
Right.
You good, you know, all the time. You know what I mean? So like, I get it. And then as somebody that work in the mental field, like I understand not wanting to talk to nobody that you know.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's weird because I get a lot of patients that know who I am, and then they don't shut up. Yo, bro, remember we used to go to what you call it? Tell everybody, yo, man, we used to go to school. Yo, man, we used to do this. Yo, man, we used to do that. And I'd be like, yo, so I tell everybody that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's fine. Like, I'm not saying it's a lie. It's just like, yo, like, relax. Like,
They don't gotta know this.
They gonna find out eventually.
Right.
Like,
They really don't care.
I thought it was crazy. Like, I would have the most awkward situations, like in the most inconvenient areas. Like, I'll be driving Uber, and it ended up turning into like a counseling session at Uber. Like, man,
Oh, yeah.
I literally got in my car, turned on my music, turned on my app, picked you up, like, and now I'm helping you through crisis right now. Like on a plane, like legit. First of all, I was mad because like my seat somehow was like in the back of the plane, so I was like right across from the toilet. So I was already mad. I was gonna be across from the toilet on the plane. The freaking flight attendant sat in the seat across from me. It was just like just started talking, and I'm like, and that mind you, I had my earbuds in, so like I'm just like, and she was just like, you know, I just feel like maybe this is not for me anymore. But she's looking dead at me, and like, because I'm looking around like, who's she talking to? In my eyes, like she's like in my eyeballs, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like, and she's just like, you know, I've been doing this for like 30 years, and you're probably making more money than me, and I'm just like, then you might want to consider like a career change. Put the earbuds back in, and she just kept talking, like, and I'm like, the passengers around me were cracking up because I was like, they must know I'm in school to be a therapist, like it must be like a pheromone I'm giving off, and I was like, aren't you supposed to be passing out the snacks and stuff right now, like?
Am I getting extra cookies?
I'm pretty sure people are waiting on their complimentary pop.
I've never got cookies on.
And people, are you serious?
Never got cookies.
You never flew Delta, that's why.
Yes, I have.
Or JetBlue?
You have?
Yeah.
Then you should be falling in love with
Georgia and
Florida.
Florida. Georgia and
Or
Florida.
JetBlue, because they have like the chocolate chip jump off.
Georgia and Florida are my main travel.
So that's what I'm saying. If you were on Delta, you should
I'll get Delta a lot.
You should have got cookies on Delta.
No, never.
Delta sell like that's all they give. That not all
they give like chips and the Biscoff cookies, but everybody wants.
That's a
Biscoff.
fact. Like you,
Never.
what?
Never.
Oh man,
They didn't like you.
My friend, right?
Because I got multiple packs of cookies.
I be in my own world when I go to play. I go to play.
That's why you ain't paying them no attention.
I get on play with my no, because when they talk to me, because they obviously walk around and ask you stuff. So they ask you like, hey, you want like, some drinks or you want like, some peanuts or something. I'm like, no, I'm good. Because I want no peanuts. I don't like peanuts. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have anything other than peanuts?
I don't ask. I don't ask because I'm like, but also,
See, I'd be like, yo, let me get them Biscoffs.
I know, right? I know that there was cookies. I didn't know that there was cookies.
JetBlue used to have these chocolate chip cookies, and they used to be cold. Like, I don't know if they put them in the refrigerator, but these joints was fire. And when I got on a JetBlue flight and they stopped selling them, I was like, yo, I'm never flying this airline again. Because it was just like, you can't teach me with these delicious cookies and then like take them away.
Snatch them away. Like,
Sharita says society has created unrealistic expectations and standards for pastors and associate pastors, which are not biblical but very toxic and culturally driven. This makes getting help and healing challenging for pastors and ministers. Yeah.
I hear you.
Like, I freaking love my therapist though. Like, it's crazy because we're kind of like the same person. So we have been on full sessions, cracking up, laughing, we probably should be working about some deep rooted issues right now, but both cracking up right now. Like,
I should probably go back to my therapist. I had felt abandoned because we were supposed to see each other and it got canceled. But she never called me back to reschedule, and I was hurt.
so
I really held on to that for a minute, and now I felt bad about it. Later on, I was like, why am I holding on to this? She's a person with a life. I call her all the time.
He's like, you should have called me back.
Yeah, man. I just was like, yo, y'all gonna set up another appointment. That's what I was like, dang, why didn't I set an appointment with me? This is the way.
Big Girl Chronicles intro. Yep.
Jay Cherie, it's on you.
What's good, everybody? You already know what time it is. It is Big Girl Chronicles, and on this beautiful day, we are going to talk about social norms because honestly, I'm kind of sick of y'all. So, no, let me preface it this way. So, I have been just watching certain things on Facebook. I don't comment because, let's just be honest, I don't have the energy to just argue with y'all. But this last social, quote unquote, social norm was about forcing people to accept your identity or how you identify. It has become a social norm that you are forced to accept a person's identity or how they identify, and that you have to respect all the rules and regulations that come along with their identity or how they identify. Let me help you. If you are a dude and you are in a dress and you are in heels and you identify as a woman, I will address you. If your name is Ron, I'm going to call you Rachel, whatever your name is. But to force your beliefs on me because you feel like this is the way to accept you is absolutely unacceptable, and you will not force your beliefs on me. And this is also going on with gender roles, because now I have seen mostly, and I'm going to say this, mostly in the church world, I have seen this new push for having to identify gender roles now. And it's like, going back to biblical days, the woman should be at home and the man should be out here working, and the woman is taking the man's place and all this other kind of stuff. I am here to break these social norms because at the end of the day, let's just be honest. If you look at studies, Black women specifically, are the most educated people on the planet right now. And unfortunately, we have been forced into our own leadership because of the lack of male presence, whether it's you made bad choices with a bad baby father, or you've had to, you had some situations in life that caused you to be a single mother, or you're just out here securing your bag because you would like to be, independently wealthy before you end up into a relationship. Either way, forcing social norms on people because you feel that people need to believe the same thing that you need to believe is absolutely, absolutely arrogant. And it's actually a form of bullying. I don't have to agree with what you do. I don't have to conform to a social norm of being a woman who sits at home, and I'm honestly not going to. So in this edition of Big Girl Chronicles, I admonish you guys to break this idea of social norms and feeling that we have to conform to what society says that we need to play in the roles that we need to play. If you are out here and you a dude and you secure your book bag, secure your book bag. Because if you secure in the bag, it's a whole nother conversation. If you are out here and you're a woman securing your bag and you are in your 30s, you in your 40s, and you are not married, ignore what society is saying about you as a person, saying that you should have been married at 25 and had children. This is ridiculous. And as a person who has had to go through transitions of life, I have learned that social norms are just people's opinions that have been backed by other people who feel the same way. That doesn't mean it's law.
Right.
So in this edition of Big Girl Chronicles, we out here breaking social norms. Do you, and do it well. Because you're beautiful, you're intelligent, and you're graceful.
Bring every change.
Yeah.
The only social norm I accept is Jesus.
No, because it's crazy how, how much I've had to pour into specifically females, They make you feel like something's wrong with me because I'm not married and I'm 30, or I'm not married and I'm 35. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with you. You may have been out here, you may have had to go through life, certain situations. You may have had to grow as an individual. I'm in my late 30s. I'm not ashamed that I'm not married. The point is, after I went through my life situations, I had to first grow as a person, grow in maturity, and then let's be honest, learn how to talk to guys. Like, and you can't be in a relationship and talking to dudes any old kind of way and expect them to accept that because it's just you. Yes, ladies, I said that. You feel free to be mad at me if you want to, but you can't talk to a guy and say this is just me and expect them to be okay with that. Because if they was talking to you in your kind of way and said it's just me, you're gonna be mad.
Or if they was going upside your head in your kind of way and saying it's just me.
I mean, I don't promote violence. Fire 716 does not promote violence. No kind of domestic violence, whether it's male or female. But no, like
you can't be calling me names and then be like, but that's how I talk.
No,
because if I start calling you a B and all that
right,
stuff,
like
I mean, like I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Then that's not cool. Not cool. Okay.
So we gotta just stop conforming to what society says is right. Like, because at one point society said slavery was okay.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Very well.
Make up your own mind.
Make up your mind on that one.
Talk Your Talk Tuesday. Make up your own minds. But no, when we get back, we're going to get into these hot topics. And the question of the day, what do you define as legacy and how do you leave one? This is our question of the day. We're going to get back to talking about the question of the day. And join us on Facebook and YouTube. Good morning, Yolanda. Join us on Facebook and YouTube for the behind the scenes footage. You don't want to miss that. Our conversation is hot.
Yeah.
So enjoy these commercials for the radio station and enjoy this good music. And we'll be back. Fire 716. Trixie said, I feel you on that. I missed my last joint, so I lost. So I'm so lost. Spiraling. My makeup is tomorrow. I need this is okay. I'm not making any excuse for any type of any type of therapist that refuses to reschedule or forgot to reschedule. Sometimes it happens.
My thing is, I
make sure your mic is on.
We're not on anyway.
No, Frank just texted. So make sure. He said I don't want to hear.
This is my voice.
Them clear on the radio.
My voice is all trash right now.
Okay. Sometimes they forget.
There are people too. You know what I mean? So I can be mad at them. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure it's a long line of people taking therapy. You know what I'm saying? Me, her,
so you're still on.
the next one.
Are we still our mics? Maybe. I don't know. We'll find it. Oh, no commercials.
No commercials. Oh, wait.
Come create at Hanley Studios, 545 Main Street, Niagara Falls, New York. Poetry, improv, comedy, music, and more. Hanley Studios, available for renting. We have lights, sound, and stage equipment. Hanley Studios, 545 Main Street, Niagara Falls, New York. We provide live streaming. For more information, call 716-371-2780, extension 2, 716-371-2780, extension 2.
Fire 716 Radio, serving the best in urban and inspirational music.
It's Fire 716.
Let's go! It's Big Frank in the morning, Jay Cherie keeping it going. We got them hot topics, local news, and BGC flowing. We got Big Kev on the air, Dark Knight flying in here. It's Fire 716 and we rocking it here. Hey. Called, she knew instantly this was gonna be a bad session because she called and I was like, hello. Thanks for the reminder, Trixie. We appreciate you.
For sure.
But no, she was just like, I'm feeling some kind of energy here towards me. And I was just like, yeah, right now I don't like you. And it took some prying for me to finally tell her why I was pissed off at her. But I laughed about it later because I was like, I'm gonna get one of those. I'm mad at you. For what? It don't even matter. Obviously it does, because your whole demeanor has changed. It still don't matter. So we gonna keep doing this, or we gonna just cancel this appointment and reschedule for another day? We ain't got to reschedule. I paid for it. Let's do it now. We're gonna have. I'm gonna get one of those. Like just as like get back, like therapy get back. Like I'm gonna give you one of these. Boop. Enjoy. Yolanda, how you doing? All the people that's jumping into the conversation. Listen, the question of the day: how do you define a legacy, and how do you leave one?
I feel like we had a conversation like this once before.
I don't remember.
I feel that
We could have.
legacy.
He said, I feel like we talked. I was like,
something like this, like maybe not these exact questions, but we talked about legacy before.
Mm-hmm.
I feel legacy is a positive thing that you pass on. I know right in this day and time, legacy is usually money or business. But I feel that legacy is more of a mindset.
Right.
Because even if I was poor, if my mindset wasn't a poor person, like
right.
I was like, look, okay, this period, you know what I mean? Right. That's something that I leave with my kids, that thought process that, it's not about that. It's about having the mindset that, I'm going to go out and get it, even if going out and getting it ain't getting millions of dollars, it's going out and getting it.
Yeah, legit.
And the only way I can think of building one is just implementing it every day in your everyday life and speaking on it with your children.
Mm-hmm.
Or, because we have all talked about how legacy isn't necessarily a familial thing. So, or passing it on to someone else. And give somebody opportunity to be, I don't know if this is a word, legitical. I made it up. The English language, it worked because the English language is broken up into Latin and different sounds. Mm-hmm. So as long as the Latin doesn't work out,
sure. Okay.
So Tracy said kids. Tracy said kids. I get you on that for sure. Because if you leaving,
my thing is, no, I won't say that because that sounds rude.
If you leave your kids, right? If you just a man, you know what I'm saying, and you just got a ton of kids, like
Nick Cannon.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But Nick Cannon has something to leave his kids.
Yeah.
But if you just a Nick Cannon without Nick Cannon money, and unfortunately money is just
it's a
vehicle, you know what I'm saying? But it'll help him leave a legacy that his kids can benefit off of.
Right. Well,
you know what I'm saying? Financially.
He got a lot of kids. I don't know. I know he got.
But
money.
You know what I'm saying? But where a poor man leaves wisdom and knowledge, you get what I'm saying? Rich people leave money. So it's a difference in. It's a mindset, like Daniel said. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yolanda said legacy is automatically left. So make sure you live out a legacy's life in love, wisdom, and lessons of health and way.
Okay, Londa.
That's my city right there. But no, I think, and this is why people.
Legacy is your residue left on Earth after you leave.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because I think the reason why I posed the question is because I think people automatically, when they think legacy, they think money.
Right.
Inheritance is money.
Money, right.
Legacy, like Yolanda said, is like what you left on Earth. Because I'll take the transition of apostle. We are his legacy. Not just the church.
Right.
Because people are like, oh, COG is just a legacy. No, it's not just the church. It's the lives that he impacted, the spiritual and natural children that he had that are carrying along the legacy of this great man.
Right.
And no money was involved. Well, at least, not his spiritual children.
Right.
I don't know about the natural ones. I ain't in their business like that. But for even with his spiritual children, people like me and Frank and a couple other ones, his legacy will continue with me, until I go. My kids are gonna know who, if I decide to reproduce. my kid will know who Joseph Brinson Jr. is because that person has so much impact in my life. Every ministry I'll have his picture is gonna be up. Like this is the life and the legacy of the person who did this for me. So like I think oftentimes in the Black community, we didn't leave a legacy if it's not money. And it's actually like leaving an inheritance and leaving a legacy are two different things.
Yeah.
Like my dad, the legacy my dad is leaving with me is teaching self-sufficiency, how to save money, how to be a good, because let's be honest, Dad, if you're over here, I'm put you out. He wasn't always that good. But what he's teaching me now, okay, you got to make sure you prep for this. You got to make sure you have this, and this. Make sure you have the savings account for this, but make sure you have this. Like having that to me is more important than, because you can have millions and blow it all in 2 years. What he's teaching me is how to create like generational wealth, because my dad is like, when I go, you're not only just gonna have money, but you'll have a house, you'll have this is something that you could pass along. Yeah, even if you're not living here, you can rent out the house, like things of that nature. So like for me, it's like the perfect instructions on how to not just survive, but live in abundance and not having to live check to check. Like I'm creating a space that my whoever comes after me won't have to struggle the way that I have. And like, of course, I want to leave an inheritance too, because money helps. Right. But like, even if my dad never left me $1 million, what he taught me,
he taught you was more valuable.
What he taught me, I can turn what he did leave me into $1 million.
For sure.
And so, like, even with like, how do you create it? I think it's passing down the wisdom of the things that you learned and taking the wisdom of people ahead, like before you, that taught you,
what you know.
For
sure.
Dante says it's kind of like the soul and purpose of the person reincarnated through those they have impacted well after they have passed on.
No, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hamilton said it, when your time is up, have you done enough? Like, who lives, who dies, who tells your story? Like,
no, for real.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I want to teach my kids how to operate businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like, they won't have to go get a job from somebody else, because I'll have several businesses for them to work. You know what I'm saying? And learn how to flourish in that, so that they don't have to ask anybody else for a job, But that's where I want to go as far as my legacy.
That's cool.
Just to start, teach them wisdom as far as who you are. Know yourself. I feel like, are y'all familiar with Grace, the Grace family?
No.
The Black family.
I do know somebody whose last name is Grace.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay, they on Facebook, but he's Black, but he get a lot of backlash for teaching his kids gun safety and actual laws and things like that, like gun laws. And I'm like, no, dude, you're doing what the white people are doing.
Right.
Keep going, bro. Like, that's something that we need to teach our kids, because of the things we have to go up against in life. You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of his legacy, is teaching his kids how to be self-sufficient and know how to protect themselves and legally, you know what I'm saying? So those things are important. It's
always going to be socially unacceptable for us to teach legacy and wealth.
Yeah, the dude with the locks, Miracle, light skin dude, yeah.
Like, it's always going to be socially unacceptable for us to teach it, because if you white and on here, I'm not saying this in a racist way, but it was never the purpose of life for Black people to learn how to be wealthy and create legacies.
Right. Like,
once we was taken from the ship.
Yeah.
It was like, your identity is going to be lost here forever. This is not what you're supposed to learn. Right. You're supposed to always be under this certain regime.
Fact.
Like this. So like, for this dude with the last that's teaching it, of course he's going to have adversity. Because,
for sure.
Fire 716, it's your girl Jay Cherie in the building, Big Frank in the morning. I'm in the room with my boy Kev on air.
Yeah.
My brother, the Dark Knight. We are talking about legacy. So the question of the day is, what do you define as legacy and how do you leave one? If you haven't been following us on Facebook and YouTube, you've been missing out on great conversation because like the wisdom that's being dropped here is amazing. Like, and you know, trying to create legacy amongst people of color, not just Black people, people of color, period. How do you guys feel that, you know, we talked about it behind the scenes, but how do you guys define legacy and how do you create one?
Legacy is a mentality. You know, legacy is something that it's a thought process that you pass along. We, like I said earlier, you know, we usually put, you know, things like legacy, we usually think money, we think business, you know what I mean, connections, you know, which that's all good, you know, and then if you got them to give them, you know, right. But like the true meaning, at least for me, of legacy is a mentality, a thought process. When I think about legacy, I think about Joshua and how he let all of Israel know, look, do what you want to do. Look, as far as this house that's under me, you know what I'm saying, we gonna be with the Lord. And that's what I said on phone them. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Kev on air?
Like you said, legacy is about the mentality. You know, if you instilled the right mindset into your children, that right there is your legacy. Like, if you don't have any children, technically you don't really have anything to leave behind if you're not like a public figure, or if you're not out here like spreading wisdom. You get what I'm saying? Like people won't really have
keeping everything to yourself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People won't have anything to like remember you by unless you're just like a good-hearted person. But like, you know,
Oprah being the prime example.
Yes.
But like, and I think like even with that, Oprah has like spiritual kids.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
no, like there's people that she's mentored.
Okay.
There's people that she's mentored. There's like, I believe there was like one or two young people that she was like, they're like my kids, and I was just like, oh well, you're gonna have kids. But like her legacy was passed on through Maya Angelou. Like she sat at her feet and she called her spiritual mother, and so like. I couldn't imagine what that conversation was like, you know, sitting at the feet of Dr. Maya Angelou and like, that's my spiritual mom. And the things that she poured into her that Oprah is now trying to do, you know, through her network, through her foundations, through her schools, you know what I'm saying? Even though the schools have had some hits. Right. But, you know, for me, you know, I think legacy is definitely teaching the difference between what an inheritance is and what a legacy is. Because I think, like I said, behind the scenes, we often put them together as this is my legacy is how much money I left you and things of that nature. But like the core values, you could have a lot of money. Let's take our last president. He had a lot of money, but his core values was trash. Like, and he has passed down this trash core values to his kids, and his kids have trash. like, you know, for me, you know, it's yes, leaving an inheritance is very important. And if you challenge me, it is biblical. It's in the Bible that you're supposed to leave an inheritance. But the core values, what has produced to make you and enrich your life, and that can be passed on to whoever you're connected to, whether you're biological children, spiritual children, mentees.
Right.
You know, that is what your legacy is. And how you go about doing it is really showing character and being willing to invest. And a lot of people don't want to do that because it takes work. And it takes time.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I need to invest. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how to do this, but how do I operate? Then you have to teach them. And that's the investment. And that's why, you know, good legacies are not easy to come by. Because it takes so much time to invest in work and, you know, produce this. And sometimes you won't see the fruits until, you know, you won't see the fruits of these labors, but the people that you poured into, their lives are changed forever. But you won't see that because you've transitioned on. And that's the risk of creating a legacy.
Right.
Like you may not see it. You know, the way the world is going right now.
Nipsey Hussle.
People I poured into, like the people I pour into now, if I'm caught up and they not, like I will never see.
Yeah.
You know, the things that I've poured into, you know, with certain people that have been attached to my life. And I've had a result that I'm okay with that. You know, because people are like, oh, I want to see my legacy on earth. You may not.
Right.
Probably won't. True, Abraham did.
Yeah. Like, and you brought up Nipsey Hussle, like his legacy.
Yeah, he ain't seen none of it.
He didn't see none of it. And honestly, I was one of those people who did not know who Nipsey was until he died. Like, I was just like, who's this guy? But I didn't bandwagon jump either.
Right.
Like, I was just like, that's really unfortunate that this man had so much influence and his life was taken. Like, I wasn't like, oh my God, Nipsey! Like, didn't know who Nipsey Hussle was at all. Sorry, Laura London. I just didn't.
No, sorry.
You don't love.
But no, like, so, you know, as you are, you know, going through life and stuff like that, you know, I don't know if this is just like encouraging Talk Your Talk Tuesday. I don't know what this is, but like really focus on the legacy and what kind of perception of yourself are you leaving behind with others?
Right.
Because every legacy is not a good one.
No.
That's a fact.
So out here in these streets living in infamy.
Listen, like if you out here living a trash life and you got kids, your kids are gonna know. I had a trash parent. Like,
Daddy was a trash man.
and he wasn't glad.
Walmart brand.
He
was great.
He was the Walmart, the smart view version of a parent, or even with that, and that's why, you know, as parents or mentors, we have to just be careful how we impact the lives of people around us. Because I am sick and tired of trying to heal a bunch of people that these parents have destroyed.
Thug life.
I'm tired of y'all.
They hate you good.
Listen, like I love y'all, but I'm kind of tired of y'all. Like your kids is out here trying to figure out life because you out here destroying legacies of lives.
Nah, it's because they out here living their best life.
Right.
Like I remember it was a time. Well, we can talk about it. We have to.
We're gonna talk about it behind the scenes, but listen, when we get back, we get into these hot topics. We got some interesting ones, and they're some very inspiring ones on this Talk Your Talk Tuesday. Big Frank in the morning, Fire 716, your girl Jay Sheree, Dark Knight, Kev on air. We hold it down. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, I was just saying that. The real issue is that, you know, it was a time when people used to raise their kids. And then everybody used to raise your kids.
Everybody.
You know what I'm saying? We live in a time now where can't nobody raise your kids, and
But
you don't want to raise your kids.
And you barely. So, I have a friend, and their neighbor, right, feels like it's okay to leave her 3 children in the house.
Alone?
Oh, my mom's sleep always.
Yesterday.
Wait, how old are the kids?
They're young.
How young?
The oldest is 6.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, yo, that
we
week.
call it
But listen, but like
one of them Negroes is 12. Y'all put it together. That's all. Right to the 90s.
Like the youngest is probably a year. The second is probably like 3. The oldest is probably like 6, 7.
Like leaving to do what? Like go to the store, come back.
Live her best life. Do whatever she wants. She go to the store, come back, go to work, come back. Well, she just got a job. But
I'm just saying, like,
yeah, like
if you in a, I'm always saying this because if you in that predicament where no, you can't afford it or people ain't there, but you still gotta go and do. You know, that's something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's not having a choice. It's one thing you're not having a choice, and there's another thing if y'all here living your best life and leave your kids at home. Because living your best life and leave your kids at home, you go to the club on Friday when your kids at home sleep. You put them to sleep at 7 o'clock so you can get yourself ready. It's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's different. That's different than I gotta go to Tops and I gotta go get a lot of stuff and I can't just take these small kids with me. That's different.
But even still, though,
not saying
it's risky.
Not saying
because
right
yesterday
or wrong,
the baby had a knife and cut the oldest. Right. So like
these kids able to get knives? Like
this is what I'm saying. This is what's wrong with this society, because like there's no reason you shouldn't be able to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, can you watch my kids?" Like anybody. Like that's ridiculous, bro. Right. Hey, listen, can the kids come upstairs for a minute? Cool.
Yeah.
Like you don't do any of that. Like burn the house down if you want to. Like, come on now. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd be like, CPS. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? No, I like that's
Yes, tricks. Yes, you know.
like that's crazy. I mean, I was a latchkey kid, but like it was like I was a sufficient latchkey kid.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. I was like,
I was able to.
That's why I was like, how old is the kid?
Yeah, like I was able to go home.
If somebody like 12, 11, and and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, part of me was like, oh, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get your life together, Brody. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, chill.
It definitely wasn't.
Turn on the TV, watch Toonami, bro.
Not Toonami.
Push it, you know what I'm saying? Do like I do, just sit there watching anime. Everybody watch anime. What I say?
Everybody doesn't.
No, everybody doesn't watch anime.
If I'm in charge and that's what's on TV,
everybody's watching anime.
That's really selfish. Like,
not selfish. If I'm in charge,
that's really selfish to force somebody to watch something that they don't want to watch just because you want to watch.
They don't know if they want to watch it, so they watch it, and then now they ask me questions and stuff. And I'm like, see, you really liked it. Different example, you know what I'm saying? That's going off the mark from what we was talking about.
Like I said, I learned to be self-sufficient very early just because like my dad did work, but I was the only female in the house too. So I had to learn how to do my own hair, wash my own clothes.
Can't braid.
Huh?
Can't braid though.
But I could press the full out of some hair. I can color my own hair. Like I could do like the individual like braids with like the little girls with the knockers and stuff like that, or the two-strand twists. Yeah, like. But if you ask me to cornrow, it's a dub. Like I would
learn how to braid.
Yo, braiding is not hard, yo.
I don't think it's necessarily hard, but I want to be able to like braid like from the scalp. Got you. Along this, yeah.
Like cornrows.
I can't do cornrows. I can do
single braids.
Like that's not hard.
Because when you was like, could you braid my hair? I was like, if you for cornrow situations.
But you see me.
But
over here.
I could do individuals, but like I said, it's different. It's different over here. Like my hair, mind you, my hair was long. So like I had, the either slip back into the huge ponytail, get the hot comb, get it nice and flat.
Right.
And then one day I was bored, so I learned how to color my hair. Like, granted, it looked like, death in my bathtub because it was like bright red, but Gooby gone. He was all right. Like once we figured out, like just put some Gooby on in the tub, it's gonna be perfectly fine because our tub was blue, so it was like bright red. But like, I just never had any desire to learn how to cornrow because I knew I was gonna ever cornrow my own hair. Like,
true.
Quita said I can't French braid either, but I can do single. Listen,
I think braiding your own hair is hard. I know some girls that can do it, but I would think that'd be hard. Just for the simple fact that you kind of like do it, you kind of braid it, depending on how you're doing it. And me personally, I'm just thinking going straight back, regular cornrows. Like it's just braiding part of your hair to braid back. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a lot of work. A lot of this when somebody could see behind you just.
Everybody's not going to. Sharita said I was a latchkey kid, but my neighbor was a Buffalo police officer who looked out for me when I was home alone. So she made sure I was safe and I burned it down the house while I was cooking. Listen, like that's a real situation. I could have set my house on fire one time. Like, because I took a cooking pan, put eggs in the cooking pan and stuck it in the microwave.
Yeah, you was But I'm like, only reason why I'm saying it is like I can't really say much because I had it was 4 of us, not counting my sisters, because by the time we was old enough to watch ourselves, they was gone. So like, but it was 4 of us. So like, somebody was always on somebody. Like you was no way you was burning this house down because somebody was coming around the corner. Yo, what you doing? You know what I mean? So like it was a lot different. Like you could leave us at the house because we was gonna be fine. Because the same way how you left, you was probably gonna find us the same way because we was watching TV. You probably just gonna watching TV when you came back. So like, go ahead, do you? You know, right? Like
that wasn't my life. Like I was like, I want eggs, but I feel like boiling them, so I was just like, boop, put it right in the microwave. But like, I had to learn like
our thing was eating breakfast. Like we would eat a lot. Like when my parents was gone and I was younger, we would just make pancakes and eggs and stuff. Like we just ate a lot of breakfast food. This is probably why I really like Denny's now, specifically because of that. Because it was like, you know, breakfast food was like the go-to as a kid. One, it was fast. I could share it with everybody. We could share with all the brothers, and it could be. I got like 30 pancakes done in like 30 minutes, and if the pan hot, you know what I'm saying? We in and out this drink, you know what I mean?
The fact that you was hugging yourself talking about pancakes is
love
for you.
Yeah.
Like flapjacks. Like no, but I learned how to like make scrambled eggs, pancakes from scratch, like certain things. Because my dad could not cook. Like my dad still to this day. There's only very few things I am comfortable eating at his house. But like he couldn't cook. He would take like a 3-pound box of like spaghetti, cook that, and we use 1 jar of sauce. Like and be like, there's spaghetti in there. I'm not eating that. Like, then you're gonna starve. Then I guess I'm starving. Like
oh man.
I need a lot of sauce. I need my sauce.
that's the thing, like, and he didn't put nothing in the sauce. It was just like
Sauce.
Oh no.
dump the sauce.
Well,
Salt,
you know,
pepper,
you know what Prego said, you know what I'm saying?
Just because he said it was in there. Didn't brown no beef, didn't put no peppers, no nothing in there.
Oh, it was just noodles and
it's just
sauce.
the sauce.
Oh, you know, I did that. I had to do that one time.
Yo, when you ain't got it,
Ain't no
you know
meat,
what when you ain't got it, you know what I'm
You
saying?
better eat that spaghetti.
Right,
Like my dad did. Like my
That's how
dad.
they eat it in Italy.
My
What?
dad found out in older years, like I hoarded food. Like I had boxes of cereal hidden in places. Like
Yo.
he was like, "Where do you get this food? Cause like you ain't got no money." Oh, I went to driving to the store and stole this stuff. But like, like how can we in here starving? Like you left and there was nothing in the freezer. When you came back, it was hot pockets and ice cream and everything else. Like
I went shopping. I mean, come on, what you want me to do?
Quita said, I definitely was cooking at an early age. I had to take care of my sister, LOL. My grandmother and my mother had me in the kitchen early. So the person I wanted to learn to cook
I
from,
think that's important. Even if it's not really learning how to cook,
Just
like,
being in
being
the
in
these are the things in the kitchen. This is how they
If you
work.
want to eat, this is how
Yeah.
yeah.
like I
Don't burn my house
wasn't,
down.
Right.
I wasn't privileged to like sit with my grandmother until I got older, because like the Browns and the Mitchells had
They on that.
their own thing. So the one grandmother that really could cook, I couldn't like get with her to like my older years, and that was like my grandma Lena. So like being older sitting in her kitchen is different when you a kid, because when the kid you have no concept of how hot it is because you just in the kitchen with your grandmother. As an adult, you like both of us can't be in this hot kitchen together.
Somebody can open up with the suck.
It's hot in here. Like you need to stay here with this food. I don't want you because it's hot. Like it just, but we in here making pound cake, but it's hot in here. Like, but no, just sitting with my grandmother and learning that, like at an older age, was like I kind of wish I had that as a kid, because my other grandmother was real basic with her cooking. Like,
Ain't no wrong with that though. I was like for a kid.
but like when you have that grandmother that tells you that you need to know how to cook, but don't teach you how to cook.
Oh yeah, no, that's a problem.
Or when you in the kitchen trying to cook, they micromanage and end up taking over everything, so you never learn how to cook. Because it's like, you're doing this wrong. Okay, well, let me learn. Like,
Teach me.
because my aunt was notorious for that too. Peaches was notorious for that. So I would cook when she wasn't home. Like, she would come home to a full cooked meal. How did you cook this? None of your business. Just eat.
Just
Like, this steak is good.
Are you
It's
hungry?
delicious. It's freaking delicious. I seasoned the food out this steak. But what did you use? None of your business. Just eat the food.
Really how I like it.
Listen. Like, you're not gonna micromanage my cooking skills. Like,
no, for real.
for real. Like, I can't slap in the kitchen, but you won't die. Like, you'll have the basics. You'll have meat, vegetables.
Living is what all I care for at this point.
Yeah. I'm not the sister who could cook a lot. Like, I got two sisters that can slap in the kitchen. Like, one can go to the grocery store and get download revelation from God on a recipe, come home and cook it, then portion out nothing, just cook it, and I just be like,
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
it's delicious, but you're ridiculous for being able to do this. The other one, she clean cook. I realize I'm the sister that can help you, Get your life together.
No.
Help you through therapy. But if you marry me, you won't die. I'm a cook. But don't expect me to cook like my sisters, because then you'll be disappointed every time.
Yo.
Yeah.
I was blessed.
Everybody got that one dish that they really good at though. You be like, I really like how you did that. That was really good.
Yeah.
You said what?
I said I'm glad I had the sister I had because she really knew how to cook. My mom taught her how to cook early. Well, see, what happened was my mother had an aneurysm and she had to take over. So it was just like she had to do all the cooking. And when I say she makes the best,
Trina, you laughing because you know I'm talking about you.
like she put me on the Brussels sprouts, like fried Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts are so man. If you fry them,
do you like bacon?
Yeah.
Okay. Saute some bacon, fry some bacon, slice your Brussels sprouts, saute them bad boys.
In the bacon.
I promise you, you will never not eat Brussels sprouts like that again. I promise you.
She said, "It's an art form. I love to cook and bake." No, but seriously,
She knew though.
she's the sister. I'm serious that can go to the store and get fresh dollars.
I remember going to the street house to eat one time. And then that was the only, and I remember because it was the only day I ever ate that specific thing. I've never ate that specific thing ever again because I'm like, well, if Sharita not making it, I'm not gonna eat that thing.
It's terrible. Trying her cooking, like the first time I had any food at her house, I was like, oh, we'll never not be sisters again. Like, I'm not using you for your cooking. I'm just saying because you cooked and this food is delicious, you'll never get rid of it. Like we can fight if we want to, but Frank said I can cook, but baking is for my wife.
Ain't nothing wrong with that though.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Man, what?
Quita got it all, but that's because Quita is
Teamwork makes the dream work.
She is inquisitive.
She said, "Listen, baking, I got it, and as soon as I get a stand mixer, it's over."
She is an inquisitive baker. She'd be like,
what should I do today?
How does this taste together? You know what I mean?
No, I like experiment. Like in cooking, I like to experiment. Like
I'm
put
real.
stuff together.
She said the same thing as me for my cooking skills. It's not just the cooking, you're anointed as well. No.
So your anointing reached the kitchen.
No, I can do some baking.
I don't
But
know.
people limit me to banana pudding. I keep trying to tell people I have
I can do
other stuff, and nobody orders the other stuff. And I just be like, you guys are annoying. Because, like,
I don't know what that word is.
I have literally put on Facebook, like, hey, y'all, I got nut butter treats. I got strawberry shortcake treats. Let me get that banana pudding. Yo!
Hey.
You don't know how taxing this banana pudding is.
I don't eat banana pudding, but as I'm continuously told, that it is extremely smackalicious.
But it's smack worthy. Right?
You know?
Anybody that make it good, like like putting the cookies in the joint and then throwing the chest mint cookies on the joint.
We was just talking about this yesterday.
Listen,
my dad was like,
okay.
I'll make that.
And then I had somebody throw some strawberries in one before. Like, don't be getting creative.
I understand it's my specialty, sis, but I make other stuff. Like, sometimes you just don't want to be in the hot kitchen making banana puddings all day. Like, I would just be honest.
I get it, because my nephew came to my house yesterday and was like, yo, you make peach cobbler? I was like, nah. He's like, yo, I got real excited. I thought you made peach cobbler. I was like, nah.
You try to owe me some peach cobbler.
I'm sorry.
Well, you be making peach cobbler?
I only make it like certain
No,
days
he
when you
made
get it.
some. He's like, yo, sis, I'm gonna put some aside for you. And then they ate it.
They destroyed it.
They destroyed my peach cobbler. I was so mad because I've been asking Dane to make a peach cobbler so long.
Like,
He's
your
like,
crust be like crispy?
yeah.
Ooh.
And he was like, yo, sis, he's like, I put some in the container, I put it aside for
I
you.
did. I really
He went
did.
into the fridge, he was like, yo, your peach cobbler
I
gone.
really did.
I was so, when I said Queen, I was mad at everybody in the house. I'm gonna be honest with you, I was tight. I was like, I don't even want to meet her now. Like, she ate my peach
But
cobbler.
they don't even like it. They don't like it. It's not. It wasn't them. It was my nieces. My nieces, my brother-in-law, my sister murdered it and then took it with them. They get on the plane. Took it with them.
Oh man.
Like Daniel had to
like,
tell me, he was like, it wasn't Queen enough. Because I was like, I don't even want to meet her no more. Like,
I was like, if she don't like, I was like, they don't eat it.
I was so mad because he was like, it was at the house, but like legit. It was like, it was at the house. I was like, yeah, he my peach cobbler. Because he doesn't make it often. But when he does, I never get any. So like,
Yeah. So you should make some Just for the station.
It's weird though, because like how
Just for the station.
I like the only time I've ever made it outside of the fall is like a random time in the summer. I made it in the summer randomly, but like it is not even hard or nothing. It's just that it's just something that I gotta go to the store and actually get stuff that I want. Like it's one of those things where I can't just have it. I can't buy stuff from just anywhere.
Can't get the great value.
Yeah.
Well, I can, but like it's just like certain things I want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
I've seen somebody doctor up some great value. Peach
It's not a
cobbler.
knock against great value,
I'm
but
down
some
for it.
things taste better with the
Depending
name
on what it
brand.
is, you know what I
You know what
mean?
I'm saying?
Because I was like, what you put in it? She was like, girl, I had to toss in the can of great value real quick because,
It ain't
but she
nothing.
made it so delicious you never knew it wasn't great value.
See, if you know anything about drugs, we do
I
not
don't.
condone it. But
I'm like, I know.
when you
I can't speak.
great value is a good cutting product. You know what I'm saying? So it can stretch it
Yeah, it definitely is.
and make it and not mess with the taste too much.
Right.
She said Keisha's making some for the reception.
Quisha.
Sorry.
Upside down pound cake.
Ooh.
Never had
I'm gonna learn how to
one.
make it.
I do.
Oh, she making some for the reception. Yeah,
I do.
My cousin Keisha is
I
making
definitely
peach
want
cobbler.
some.
Yes.
Man, I really want some upside down.
I just found out there's like another, like a vanilla or some kind of cream cheese velvet cake now. I just found the recipe yesterday. It said white velvet cake.
It's different.
But I was like,
Wait. Do it taste like white chocolate?
I don't
Right.
like looking at the ingredients. I was
Like
like,
vanilla bean.
I might need to try. But it had like
That's
cheese.
crazy.
It had like cream
Like the
cheese
vanilla
in
bean
it and some
sprinkles?
other
Oh,
stuff in
man.
it. Like it had like cream cheese and some other stuff. I was like, I might need to try this.
Yeah. Oh, whoever doing that, do that, please.
But I gotta go get bacon. I gotta go get new bacon pans because my bacon pans is.
Listen.
I gotta get new bacon pans. But like
Dure.
I'm only making one banana. Like I was supposed to make banana pudding last month. I was like, no. I was like, I'm not gonna do it.
Sharita said it's not new. She makes that cake.
Of course,
Okay.
of course.
So
you do.
next time you pull up,
I'm
pull
like,
up
of course
with
you
the
do.
cake. Pull up with the cake next time you pull up. Please.
Of course you do.
Please.
Send it in the mail.
Listen, send it through the mail, FedEx,
Freeze
next
it.
day air.
Freeze it.
But no, like this summer, I'm doing strictly other treats this summer.
Y'all gonna mess around, quit it really. Maybe
She
goes
look,
to the store today.
White velvet cake.
She
Maybe
goes to-
I should make one.
she goes to
She
the
said
store
I make
today.
it in pound cake form.
Ooh, that's different. No, okay, cakes that I always want, but only certain people make it. On the upside down cake, everybody don't make it.
I don't know. I
I only
don't think
know
I have.
two people that make it. Quita, she made it for me before. The only person I know that make it is John's mom.
Yeah.
I don't know how she get it crisp, like just crisp.
Oh,
I don't know
man.
how she get it.
I still gotta
That
have
sounds crazy.
Sharita, last time Sharita was here, she made little cakes.
Like last week?
No.
Oh, don't do that. Don't
No.
do that.
On the
No.
custard right out on the
Right.
Before that, she made like little cakes.
Okay.
And I still have like a half of her, because she'll make the big cake and then the minis.
Mhm.
I still have like a half of my mini in the freezer for like the red velvet because I was like, I can't eat all this.
I-
Freeze that joint and put it right
I
in
have
the
two
freezer.
top cakes: carrot cake and German chocolate cake.
See, I never liked German chocolate.
And that's
not
the
the
only
same.
thing that I can eat with pineapple.
It's
I
not
mean,
the
with
same.
coconut.
It's just not the
That
same.
and almond joy.
I don't like coconut.
I like a good carrot cake if they make it right. Because I need that carroty, that cream cheese
That cream
contrast.
cheese got to be perfect.
Because I'm
bro.
mad at people who make carrot cake and their frosting is so sugary. It's like no. I need that cream cheese contrast with the carrot cake.
Yeah.
If you ain't,
It's not supposed to be like punching sweet. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be like savory sweet.
I do like
Not
German
carrot.
chocolate. I just don't eat it often.
I love me a good German.
But give me an amazing chocolate cake, like a basic chocolate cake.
Oh, no.
My teeth father.
Only chocolate cake I can eat is KFC's chocolate cake.
I know which cake you talk about, and it is delicious.
I really don't.
That joint is slap every
I
time.
really don't eat chocolate cake.
She
Carrot
does make
cake, pound cake.
Yeah, she does make cake. She does make a carrot cake pound cake.
I love pound cake.
Oh, don't play with me.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like pound cake in every form that pound cake comes in. Except for probably
But
carrot
like-
cake. But
German cake. Oh, what's up with you and these pound cakes?
Oh,
Okay.
that's her business. She has a pound cake business.
Oh. Huh? Okay, say less.
I like pound cake. I like pound
Listen.
cake.
Yeah, she has her own business.
Oh, we on.
In most forms, I like
Yes,
I eat pound
yes.
cake. Most
I need one of each. Yes.
So that's all right.
And then I need one that I could like throw back in the oven and get it fresh.
He's like, I need batter.
Listen, half cook it. Listen, mix it together. I'll add the wet ingredients, and we good. And then you list the instructions. Yeah. Brown sugar's pound cake. Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds.
Queen said, "Okay, sure to teach me."
Listen.
But yeah, no, like my dad used to date somebody. She made a fudge pistachio cake.
Really?
Yo,
I love pistachio.
this cake
I've never liked them.
was cracked. Like it had chocolate chips in the cake with the pistachio. And when I tell you, I was so hurt. This sounds so selfish and so fat. I was so hurt when she got sick because she couldn't make cakes no more. And I know I would never get another fudge pistachio cake again. And like when she got healthy, like we lost contact, so I tried to reconnect with her. And like because of what my dad did, where she not talking to me at all. But I was like, she's still out here making fudge pistachio cakes, and I'll never get another one. Like, but no, she got seriously sick at one point. Like we didn't know she was gonna make it, and I was just like, oh my god. And like as a kid, I was like, oh my god, I'm never gonna get cake again. Like.
Yeah.
Like she had to throw it out and said, I'm never gonna get cake again.
No, my stepmother in Georgia, she made her German chocolate cake from scratch. Like went to the store, bought the chocolate bar, all that. I was like,
cake from scratch.
It's life.
Daniel, if you ever give Daniel like a store-bought cake, just give him a corner piece. No, I'm serious.
So,
like that, people like, I just want the corner piece. Like,
what's so special about the corner?
got the little sugar in it.
Yo.
She said, why am I just learning this? Learning what?
That she got a pound cake business. She will make
Oh.
But
I'm sorry.
Like my favorite cake, I love like birthday cake. Wedding cake tastes different. I don't know why.
Wedding cake
different to me than other than cake in general. But birthday cake is probably my favorite kind of cake. Other cakes that Black people typically make, I absolutely do adore. I don't get to eat cake a lot. It's just that, birthday cake is just easiest to buy because it's just going to Wegmans and having $25.
Get you a slice of birthday cake.
No. So, slice of birthday cake don't have corners.
Yes, it does. Like,
they got some
A
corners.
slice of birthday cake.
I mean, like,
Oh.
I mean, you know what I meant.
He want 4 corners.
I want 4 corners.
Go to Wegmans, get you a quarter piece.
He gets the cake just for the corners.
No, but Wegmans has quarter pieces. So you can, but like Wegmans also is like cracked because it has like the little mini cakes, or like the big slices that are just unnecessarily big that you probably should not have that slice that big, and it takes you days to eat.
Not me.
I could smash a whole.
My first piece of big cake was in Georgia.
I'm not proud of it though.
It was at the restaurant.
If you're making something not infused, Quita, I would like to have a slice.
Listen,
No, she don't infuse cakes.
I know people who do.
I've had it.
Not saying she ain't, but I don't think that's not what I've noticed she has.
I was like, I know people who have infused cakes. So
Yes.
you just gotta ask questions.
I don't think I would ever eat that because it would make me mad. Like you couldn't do that in front of me. That would piss me off.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like cake is like a sacred thing.
No, she said she was. You didn't see the joke that she made, that she said she was gonna have infused wedding cake at your wedding.
Are you really?
She was like, she said everybody. She was like, I should have like an infused wedding cake, and everybody lifted at the wedding.
Yo,
I was like, I'm not eating no cake at the wedding. Like,
no. Listen, if you infuse some cake at the wedding, put me on.
She'll get a woman. Don't play with
I'm not eating no treats at the wedding. Like,
yo,
she said it'll be regular.
I'm saying only because,
Okay.
like, I don't care. Like, don't get me wrong. No, I think the things that she do is something that I don't think too many people can do. This is the first person I've ever met that can. You know what I mean? But Cake is where I draw the line. I draw the line.
Don't disrespect the cake.
Cake is my food, Jesus. Like, I don't cross that much.
We will fight over the cake every time.
She said Daniel would kill me.
Don't bring no spirits in my house. Don't bring no infused cake in my house.
That is hilarious. He's like, that's where I draw the line. The cookies, the brownies, the Rice Krispies, all that's fine. Don't mess with the cake.
Just don't mess with the cake.
Dang. No, I know somebody who like she doesn't live here. She actually lives in Georgia.
It would break my heart.
She was infusing everything. Like she was putting infused macaroni and cheese. I was like, I've never eaten.
I have seen that.
I was like, I'm not eating at your house. Like,
I know somebody who infused.
I'm eating out every day that I'm visiting you. Like I don't trust you.
It's a spot in New Jersey.
Like everything.
It's a pizza spot that does infused everything. Like infused pizza, infused wings,
but okay,
infused
so this is my
soda,
thing. This is my thing.
Infused garlic knots, marinara sauce.
If you're gonna have infused stuff, right? You need to have a plethora of other things.
Oh, for sure.
Once I eat that, obviously you're gonna get munch.
You can't have everything infused.
Because I need to. Because you just gonna keep making me hungry.
You're gonna keep getting high, bro.
She said I do infuse everything.
Yeah, I mean,
we gotta talk.
He's gonna keep getting hungry.
No, y'all don't.
Ronquita, we gotta talk, cuz.
Just gonna get hungry.
I told her, I was like, cause like she was like, you need to come down and visit me. She was like, come visit me in Georgia. I said, if I do, I'm ordering out everything.
I'm chicken
eating out
wings.
Everything. I said, either I'm ordering out or I'm making my own food at your house. Cause I was like, you not gonna have me lifted all day, every day. Cause no, it's to the point that she infuses her butter, like just basic stuff. Everything is infused. Dude, you not having me high at your house, like.
To be honest, that's where it really starts. Like you like you infuse butter, or you make like
and then everything you cook
make
with butter,
and then everything. Then from there you cook.
She said I've done wings, chicken fingers, tacos, cakes.
Yeah,
not if
like I said,
tacos, yo.
Like I said, it started at the butter. And
right, Trixie, listen. What? So I think we should have an infused table at your wedding.
Well,
Trix.
She said she wouldn't have edibles at the wedding, but I'm like, well, that's fine. I was like, as long as you let my mama know. Tell my mama.
Hold it, you make fried dough and funnel cake?
What?
Okay, so like I need some uninfused, like fried dough.
Ain't nobody getting fried dough for you though.
Fire 716. It's your girl Jay Sharia, Big Frank in the morning. In the room with me is my boy Dark Knight.
Nope.
Kev on air.
You already know.
We are discovering a lot behind the scenes.
Today is a good day.
If you have not followed us, behind the scenes, you missed out on the conversation. We have found out about a variety of foods. The Dark Knight and Kev on air did not know that, the doctor had her own cooking bit, her own pound cake.
I did not. She kept listing pound cakes. I'm like, oh,
I got an attitude.
Like pound cakes.
Well, she was here for like the Christmas. She did tell y'all she was making cakes.
No, it is though.
Y'all,
I wasn't around.
I didn't think of it as it being a business because I know that she can cook.
Gotcha.
I was thinking that she making cake because that's what
she
like.
Yeah, she had to go to her website to order them.
Oh, send the link.
She my sister. I ignored all that.
Well, now you gotta listen back. What did we learn today? Listening is key. Let's get into these hot topics. Monique issues an apology, in quotes. So let me explain what this apology was.
She didn't say sorry.
She apologized to D.L. Hughley's family.
What did she say to them?
Oh no, she went for the wife and the kids. Like she talked about everybody. She apologized to the family, but she said, and I quote, "I meant every mother effing word I said to DL." So it was actually a raggedy type apology because it was like, "I'm sorry, I came for your wife and your kids,
that was disrespectful.
But I still feel the way I feel about you."
Yeah.
So it technically was an apology, but it kind of was.
A halfway apology.
Huh?
Halfway apology. Sorry, kids. Sorry, family.
Sorry, wife and
Still don't
kids.
like your father or your husband.
Hate your daddy.
One of those like I accept it, but at the same time, like
I called you.
Oscar-winning director Paul Haggis has been detained in Italy on sexual assault charges. So he was leaving Italy on his way back, and Italy was like, no. Stopped him at the airport. He apparently sexually assaulted some females while he was in Italy, and they caught him at the airport. Like, you are not leaving.
That must suck.
Right.
Like in Italy,
It's close,
like
but that's
in
far.
their judicial system is real interesting. They got like Russia type judicial system. So
Off with your head.
he may be there for a while.
Right.
Like fraternity Phi Gamma Delta facing felony charges for hazing. This story is actually really, really sad. It is not one of us.
This is the second
This is
one.
a
It's
continuation.
a second one. This is another one.
Wow.
This ain't the last one we talked
No.
about.
This is another one.
Y'all don't get it?
Two specific students of this organization, two specific
Mhm.
fraternity brothers of this organization are facing major charges. They basically forced the young man. He was being hazed. They forced him to drink a family-sized bottle of vodka, on top of him not actually getting sleep for days prior to that. So he was sleep deprived, and after that. Before they actually made him drink the vodka, they put him in a dumpster with broken glass, and he had to like climb out. So he had cuts and lacerations from trying to climb out of the broken glass dumpster. And then they made him drink a family-sized gallon of vodka, which caused him to pass out. At one point, they said the reason why he was rushed to the hospital is because he passed out. His lips were blue, his skin was white, so they rushed him to the hospital. He did die. They brought him back to life. They had to like charge his heart, and he is blind right now.
No way. Permanently?
Like as of right now.
As of right now.
Wow.
Crazy.
So the two that was in charge of the major forms of hazing,
I
they're
wanna fight.
they're facing major felony charges, but the organization in itself
Yeah.
is also facing felony charges
No,
for
for
hazing.
sure.
Let me be honest with you guys. Like this pisses me off in a sense before I move to the next topic, just because situations like this give bad reputations to Greek letter organizations. And I want to be very clear. All organizations are not like this. All of their hazing processes are not like this. Because I've had to deal with believers having issues with Greek letter organizations because of things like this. And I've had to basically tell them like every organization is not like
I
this.
just think hazing is just, being made to like pretty much be your servant for like a week. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna get, I look my books in the play, go get the
Right.
books. You want some Chick-fil-A, go get me some Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, some of it, and hazing is actually illegal. No
Yeah.
organization is supposed to be hazing at all. So the fact that this young man died, luckily they brought him back to life, but he now is blind. He's having issues with walking. Like nothing is that serious.
Right.
Nothing is that serious, and I really hope that he does get some justice from this situation, because the fact that he could have lost his life over something like that. And the only thing that kind of struck me with this problem, that was kind of like, bruh. His sister, he called his sister and was talking to his sister about the things that he was going through before this incident happened, and she said, "You should just drop." And he said, "I'm not a quitter."
Oh man.
And to what extent
Are you willing to go?
are you willing to keep going through a process? And I'm not blaming him for this, but if you're going through extremes before this particular situation, you may want to consider dropping it.
Yeah, I think it's a bad thing, but like, I understand, and this might be, kind of irrelevant, but like, seeing a movie or a TV show where like the thing is that if you get into this, no, it was on Dear White People. It was like if you get into this organization, it will. You already in the field that you want to be in. As long as once you get in here, like, you ain't got to fight it. It ain't gonna be hard. Everybody we know is doing it.
Lawyer,
you know what I'm saying? They just gonna slide your name through. You don't got to worry about it. You know what I mean? And when you promise it that much, give, without the stress of it. You know what I mean? Like, some like you said, I ain't want to quit. Though. Like I said, that's extreme stuff.
A lot of white Greek letter organizations don't have that extension. So like a lot of Greek letters, Black Greek letters of the Divine Nine, you do have those benefits. A lot of the white Greek letter organizations, with the exception of maybe like 2 or 3, after you graduate from the campus, it's pretty much like
you are all.
Like
whoever those people.
Well, I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
As far as
some will be like
those
lawyers.
you got a lot of fraternities who nepotism.
Yeah.
Is based upon nepotism. Their father was a part of the fraternity, their grandfather, and now they going off to be a lawyer or
everybody is a lawyer, or everybody is this, and everybody's that, or like on Dear White People. all the people that was in that fraternity, they was like writing the SNL and doing all that other stuff. So it's like, get into this, but you gotta do.
He said turn your mic up.
You gotta jump over hoops and whatever. You know what I mean? So like, it's all.
Sharita said many people, especially young adult men, join fraternities to bolster their image and self-esteem. So, I pray that this young man gets his vision back, his ability to walk back, and that he gets the justice that he deserves. HBCU, so Texas University recruits a one-arm basketball player.
Yes.
Oh, I seen him.
Yo, this dude got skin.
He got handled.
He got mad handled. Like, I really hope this young man makes it to the NBA.
No,
like
sure.
Because his
name ring bells.
He really go ball though. That's what's scary. It's not his disability.
Like
he go ball for real.
He doesn't carry.
That's what I'm saying. he can ball for real, bro.
Carry,
bro. He can ball for real, pull up for real, not know.
That's
nothing.
a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
So, but Sheree said even the Black Greeks joined to be relevant in college, especially if they were not popular in undergrad before joining. Yeah. So, the last hot topic: Pastor Andre Chappell under fire for cigars, conversation, and Christ party. Okay.
What?
I got a question.
Yes.
No, and keep going.
So basically, this Pastor Andre is creating a forum. I guess it's mostly for men.
Mm.
Bring your favorite cigar.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna go to like this set location, smoke our cigars, have conversation about God.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
The church world is enraged about this because first of all, smoking defiling your temple. Promoting an atmosphere of saying it's okay to smoke. I get it to a certain extent because our body is our temple. We don't need to be contaminating our temples. But for the people who are really coming against it, it's like you are making the image of Christ very carnal. Yeah. We do have a standard. We don't, like, as believers, we should not promoting smoking and things of that nature. And you're making it very easy because he is a pastor of great influence. You're making it easy for the world to say, like, what's the difference between me and you? And I understand, like, if this is what he wanted to do, I'd have made it just exclusive to the church, kind of kept it quiet. I would have made like a whole flyer, made it big, public, and things of that nature. I don't promote it, so don't be like, oh, Jessica said that it's okay to smoke. That's not the case.
But it could have just been Sunday, just, put out in his city or whatever. See, my thing is, okay, so this was my question, right? Thing was like, all right, I understand, helping about smoking or whatever. But like at the same time, technically you don't smoke cigars. You kind of pull and push it back out. Like you don't really smoke it. You know what I mean? That's one. And then two, like, it's a guy thing. Like, and we talk about, how the church has a structure and this and a third, and how sometimes we need to like get off that structure and we need to like pull people in other ways. You know what I mean? Like this could have just been something that he put out in the community to get everybody else to come, to just talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? Talk about, men stuff and things men talk about when they get together and, talk about Christ at the same time. You know what I mean? I don't condone smoking. You know what I mean? But, we live in a time now where it's
normal. It's
different. You know what I mean? Not saying to conform to how the world is going or anything, but like, building a bridge is important. Yeah. And I think that was forgotten probably in all the hoopla.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I if that's how you doing it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna knock you for it. I mean, I have my own personal thoughts that I'll keep to myself. But like,
talk your talk.
Right, me personally, I feel like there's a way to gauge the community without conforming. But
who's to say he would? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying because I don't think he conforming.
Because what if he like smokes cigars on a regular basis? Like, what if cigars is like his thing?
That's his thing.
You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't really inhale, but like,
don't nobody inhale.
If you inhale, you might die. Like,
right.
So it's like, don't come up against somebody for doing something that you do,
or you don't understand,
because you don't understand it. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you don't smoke weed, you don't smoke weed, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna judge the man for smoking weed. You get what I'm saying? Y'all not gonna look at me crazy for smoking weed. So like,
it's not the looking at
it's
you
just
crazy for smoking weed. Like,
no, it's
the image that you're portraying. So like, I'll say this.
because every path, I'm sure he doesn't portray the life that he's perfect. You get what I'm saying? Like 9 times out of 10, he probably let his congregation know, like, I'm not the best man on earth. You get what I'm saying? So don't put your whole faith in me, but know that I'm your leader. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm a man at the end of the day, and I do have things that I like to do. Just because you don't agree with them doesn't make them wrong.
I don't agree with that.
What don't you agree with?
I don't agree with just because you don't agree that doesn't make it wrong. As a believer, we have a certain standard that we are supposed to set.
No,
we are supposed to have. If I this is no slight towards you.
No, not at all.
If
take nothing personal.
No, like, because Kevin's my cousin and we are family. But no, like, if somebody was to say like, hey, I'm a believer, but I get high, the world's gonna ask, so why would I have to give up weed? You know what I'm saying? If I say, hey, I'm a believer, but I get drunk, what's the point of me changing if you're doing the same things I'm doing? Like, I can understand you being you, living your best life. You living your best life. That's perfectly you. But as I'm crazy, he's smoking. But no, like there comes a time where you have to be separate. It says, "Come ye out of among them." How can I say that you need to choose the God that I serve when I'm doing the same things that you are? There's a standard as a believer. So
there's a standard, but
and the world is going to judge you based on that. So if you say that you're a pastor, but you're smoking, they're going to be like,
right. But what did you say earlier, Daniel? A lot of people in the congregation feel like they can talk to their pastors. Why? Because once their pastor opens up, they feel like they can relate. So
yeah, but there's a
if I
difference
feel
between
like
struggling
and
being willingly doing it, though.
But it might not be a struggle though for some people. Some people may not look at it as a struggle. Some people just smoke. Some people just smoke to smoke. Like
my thing about everything as I've gotten older, it was in the Old Testament, right? God told you not to do a whole bunch of things. You know what I mean? Because they will build a stronghold for you.
Sure.
You know what I mean? In the New Testament, then Jesus was like, well, you do all that other stuff. You know, I know that Moses told you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm coming back and I'm telling you, hey, here's some things that you can do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Don't be so mad about it. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So my thought process was that if it is a stronghold in your life, or if it's something that consumes your life, you know what I mean?
Get rid of it.
It's something that is if it's something that you put before God, it's a problem.
Fact.
You know what I mean? Getting drunk is a problem.
Right. Not drinking though.
You know what I mean? Because getting drunk is God told you not to get drunk. Right. Jesus told you not to get drunk still. So you know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I mean? So like it's a problem. You know what I mean?
For sure.
As far as getting high or whatever, we had the whole cannabis conversation already, you know what I mean? That like, I understand that, weed, you know what I mean? It does help with a plethora of things. I feel getting high sometimes, depending on what it is, like, getting high sometimes is a result of what it does for you. Because I know a lot of people that take like weed pills for like back pain and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And things like that. And they still get high. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you can't. I guess you can't help getting high. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I mean? But it's for a reason. Like I feel like if you got a reason for it, it's better.
A medical reason.
Yeah, a medical reason is better. Like just smoke, you know what I mean? It doesn't know what to do, that's on you. But like I'm like, I don't think that's something that, like I said, it was a
but getting back to the whole pastor situation, like, yeah, people, okay, so I'll use Bishop for this. People knew that Bishop used to be in these streets. Joey was for the street. Gangsters. Like, but when he became a pastor, he he consecrated himself.
For sure.
He came out of that life. So he wasn't, even though they knew Joey from the streets, when he became a pastor, he came away from that lifestyle because that's not who he was. That's not who God called him to be. It was about becoming separate. If you are out here smoking cigars, there's no medical reason for you to smoke cigars. Like, there's none. But you're also giving the perception that it's okay to still do stuff to violate your temple, the place that God resides, and still serve God. It's not a point about being human. People struggle with stuff. You're going to struggle with stuff until the day you die. Like, you're going to have something that you fight with until you caught up or you die. Giving the world the perception it's okay to do worldly things and still be a pastor is a problem. It's a problem. You can't call yourself set apart when you looking like the world. And like, as a preacher, there's stuff that I cannot do. You can't see me out here like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take a whole bunch of shots. You can't see me doing that and then go minister this gospel. There's just something like some stuff.
I'm not saying I haven't seen it happen.
No, like I said, it has happened, but there has to be a point where you have a standard.
Nobody's saying go out here and get drunk. It's not
just getting drunk.
If you like to drink, if I like to drink,
we gotta call it.
Let's go. Yo.
I forgot what y'all gonna do.
Yo, this Big Frank. I had to call in on this one.
Yeah.
Yo. I don't know if on here or not, but y'all crazy. Number one, the fact that y'all talking about he's not smoking because he's just inhaling. That's what you do for every cigarette. I don't care what you say.
No, because
He's not smoking. But I get the idea, the concept of the flavor. But also, cigar smoking and weed smoking and drinking got different effects.
for sure.
Because smoking a cigar is like smoking a fancy top tier cigarette. Don't change the way you think. I get you relaxed, but weed alters your mind, and alcohol alters your mind. But I get the conversation. I get it. My dad came up to the kid's birthday. He was born on the first. He came over with the cigar. I'm not smoking that. Education purposes. This is for your
Yeah, they did.
They do. It's not abnormal for them. And I'm just saying, I don't know.
She said, "Talk Frank."
No, for sure, and that's what that's what I'm saying. Like, it says, if you drink and you don't get drunk, I don't see the problem. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you just had a long day and you go in the house and you pour you up a nice little double shot and it take you an hour and a half to drink that shot, you're not drunk by the time you go to bed. You chilling, you going to bed, like you chilling. If you want to smoke a cigar, you're not getting high, so you're not out of you're not unsober. You get what I'm saying? So like,
It's
That's all.
It's still the
violation of the body, but technically, like, is it really a violation of the body though?
Now take that statement. Because we still ain't having sex with folks. That's
Right. Come on now.
I'm not.
Not you per se, but we still pastors are out here having sex with people.
And I'm not condoning them either. What I'm saying, and it's different. I'll say this. As a lay member, it's different when you're a pastor. So when you're a lay member, if you go home, have a double shot, it's different because even though there is a demand on your life, it's not as strong as a minister, an elder, or a pastor. For him to be a pastor openly smoking is giving his congregation the okay to be smoking. It's not okay.
It's not giving them the okay. It's letting them know that it's okay to be in what you're in and still try to serve God.
I don't think it's even saying that. I just think, like I said, I think the whole cigar thing, because once again, my mentality is that, you don't really smoke cigars because you don't really inhale cigars. So it's like, Like, and I in the perception of cigars.
Hold on a second. Go ahead, Frank.
Because I remember being a kid and watching this guy his name is Pastor Cersei, and he's Baptist, and he was at a funeral, and the first time I saw him, he smoking a cigarette. I said, "He a pastor? He's smoking a cigarette? Oh, this man is crazy." Who is this man? But you know, we have these variants, and I get it, but I think you have to cater now. I'm gonna talk my talk.
It's Tuesday.
You have to know the dynamic of the people that you serve.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you gotta go out to tell watch this now. Let's take the same scenario and say let's have a pet conversation.
Right.
Now you got a problem.
Right.
Let's go hit the crack rock and talk about Jesus.
Now we got a problem. That's right. Let's go share this little crack rock and talk about God. Like, no. Like, come on.
But also though, you know, cigars hold the standard of like success. Like we feel like top tier. So if the men of the congregation operate in that vein, I'm not.
Listen, if you cater to a bunch of bosses,
But like I
do boss things.
Because I'm gonna be 100. I'm gonna be very honest.
Go ahead.
Welcome to Big Frank in the morning. I have not. Listen, I have not engaged in cigar smoking, but I consider like, yo, that's like top tier. I mean, just trying to be around the vibe, but it's like I'm not. Me personally, not going to try to do anything intentionally to get somebody trapped to talk about.
Right.
That's what I was talking about. Don't let your good evil folks know.
Right.
Somebody's going to always say something somewhere.
For sure.
But I'm not going to give you ammo to come for me aggressively. I would have did this event, let's talk about God, whatever, and the people in the room would have known we about to have these cigars, Cuban, Bongano,
Yeah.
and we would have had a good time, good conversation and rocked out. I wouldn't have put it on social media
Right.
for that to be the pull factor. That's just me.
That was my whole
But
okay.
point. Like no, that like legit, like that was literally like thank you for saying what I've been like, trying to articulate this whole time. It was like my whole point be like because it was the people's standard. Like you can go on a wine tour, but don't put it on social media that you're going on a wine tour. Like
No, I got you.
Yeah.
I was never a fan of promoting the questionable act.
The gray.
I'm not
The
gonna.
gray
I
area.
want to have a drink and grace. I'm not gonna post it on social media.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
That's a fact.
If
I
I
enjoy my
go
own
to
time.
Atlanta and I go to this that club to do that thing with my set wife, or that thing,
Come on.
we got pictures, but it's not for y'all
It's
to
not
know
for the
that.
world.
Oh,
Right.
it was just that, we living our best life.
Right.
That was an announcement.
Fact.
Right.
You know, so that's my thing. I'm working. I got to do right.
Do your thing. Go ahead, bro.
Thank you for
Yeah,
calling
love you, bro.
in. So now that you know we've intensely talked about
No,
this
you can't get high smoking cigars.
No, you cannot.
Sharita said, I personally don't see anything wrong with the pastor and the fellas having a conversation over some cigars. I think he should have friended it. Yeah. Like, so when you do what you do,
Do it. Just don't advertise.
Just don't advertise.
Don't advertise it, okay?
We gonna knock out this local news real quick. Since we getting ready to wrap. City of Tonawanda looking to locate a 14-year-old Sante Ekis. So if you have any information on him, please contact the City of Tonawanda. Niagara Falls man Sammy Van Halen missing. They're looking for his location because he has an outstanding warrant. So if you know the whereabouts of Sammy Van Halen and you feel like snitching,
what is the word about?
they did not disclose it.
Because I ain't about to snitch on you for no parking ticket. No, they look for you because you kill somebody, you know what I'm saying, or some wild stuff. That's different. But,
Oh, he was found.
Oh, he has been found. Okay.
Okay.
So they must have found him in the last few hours because he was reported missing a while.
Yeah.
So Sammy Ekis has been found.
Hey,
Thank you. We're grateful. Sarah Rogers, Buffalo musician, was killed on Friday. She was actually very well known. I was actually Googling her. She's been known to do jazz, all types of different music. It was a bike accident, and unfortunately, she lost her life. So while you guys are out here on these bikes, please be careful, be safe.
Stop! Don't be evil Knievel out here.
And please be cautious while you're out here on this bike. Unfortunately, she lost her life at a very young age. I believe she was 27. And was out here doing big things musically in the city of Buffalo. So we get ready to go into our final thoughts. So I'm gonna throw it to the Dark Knight. What's your final thought?
My final thought is, don't bring spirits into my house. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, get your life together.
Okay.
That's just me just putting out there in there for the world. Second, my real final thought is that it's no one's job to motivate you. You have to keep yourself motivated.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep that in mind, because I know, like, when you're doing something, you want to show people, and you expect to be as excited as you are, and you're gonna be disappointed when they're like, "Oh, no, I think that's cool," and they're not like geeking out over your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so telling you, self-confidence thing for yourself. Don't look for other people to motivate you. Keep yourself motivated.
Okay. Kev on there.
Sweet. Victory is mine.
Okay.
Victory is mine. Victory today is mine. Like, as long as you know you winning, nothing's gonna stop you.
Okay.
All right.
Keep pushing.
Get that W.
Get that W. Come on, grab that win. You feel me? It's winning season, but it's not the winner. So.
Praise God.
Okay. In the words of Pastor Bruno Mars.
Not Pastor.
I got Chucks on and Saint Laurent. I would kiss myself. I'm so pretty. You gotta learn to just appreciate yourself. Like, you have to understand that whether you rocking Chucks, you rocking Nikes, you rocking Jordans, you wearing Saint Laurent, or you wearing Walmart, you still gotta learn to love yourself, appreciate what you have and what you have to offer. This man was out here in curlers, in a suit, and rocking and living his best life. Be okay being authentic, or rocking your best self. Even in what you wear, how you carry yourself, love you.
Yeah.
No matter what you wear, what you got on. This is your girl Jay Cherie, the Dark Knight, Kev on air, Big Frank. He called in
real fast
because he out here Big Franking. You know what I'm saying? We gonna catch y'all tomorrow on Wednesday. Big Frank in the morning. Let's go. Let's get it.
It's Fire 716.
Let's go.
It's Big Frank in the morning. Jay Cherie keeping it going. We got them hot topics, local news, and BGC flowing. We got Big Kev on the air. Dark Knight flying in here. It's Fire 716 and we rocking it. Hey.